Oh, good morning, good morning. Welcome to First Unitarian Church in New Bedford, to everyone here in our pews and to everyone joining us online today. We are so glad you are here. I'm Reverend Karen LeBlanc, and I minister to this church as we minister to each other. We are a people creating beloved community at First Unitarian. We believe in practicing and promoting the UU values of justice, equity, transformation, pluralism, interdependence, and generosity in our congregation, and we believe that those always spring from the love at the center that guides us all. We are people of purpose in this church. We try to make sure everyone feels safe and welcome in this meeting house. If what you hear today resonates with you, we hope you would consider becoming part of this way cool family of seekers and keepers of this very long dream that is our church. First Unitarian in New Bedford recognizes that the land we inhabit and enjoy sits on the unceded ancestral land of the Wampanoag. We give respect to the people of the First Light, and we honor them and their ancestors in our church. Couple quick housekeeping things here. Please sign the blue card if you're new and you want to be on our mailing list. Big thanks to everyone who helped out yesterday at our holiday fair. It went really well. We had a lot of fun, and hopefully we made some money. Our board meeting is postponed until the week after this coming Tuesday. Because we've been so busy this week with the holiday fair, nobody wrote their reports or anything. So here we are. Next week, we've got Lessons and Carols. George Pereira hosts that service for us every year. It's going to be really cool. Week after that, Yasmin will be giving us our annual solstice service, which is an intergenerational service with the kids, and that's always a great time. And of course, Christmas Eve here, 7 p.m. Come on and join us for that. We are live streaming today, so please be aware of that. And join us for coffee hour after the service, right through that door. And now, let's see. Let's get up and move for just a minute. Whew, I need this morning. It was a long day yesterday. All right, let's get our hands up in the air. And stretch it. Let's give it a good stretch. Oh. Let's just do 3 breaths. Last one. Oh, and as you exhale, bring your hands to your heart. Give yourself some love and let it go out into that world where we need it, my friends. All right, have a seat. Oh, I always feel a little bit better after that. Yasmin, will you come on up and light our chalice? Who's going to help us light our chalice today? Who's where? Oh, there he is. Did you break both of your legs? They're not functioning properly. Our chalice lighting words are from Debra Faulk. The chalice lit among us is a beacon of hope in a world of crisis, a beacon of possibility made manifest in community, a beacon of warmth through our interconnection, a beacon of light illuminating our shared wisdom, and a beacon of connection by our being together. Our opening words this morning are from Reverend Michelle Collins. In times when despair feels reasonable and cynicism seems wise, we gather to practice radical hope. Not passive waiting, but active defiance against forces that would diminish our humanity. Together, we choose hope as resistance, imagination as rebellion, and love as our most revolutionary act. Come, let us worship together, my friends. And now, if you will rise in body or spirit as you are willing and or able, let us sing together number 346, 346. Come sing a song with me.
Come sing a song with me. Come sing a song with me. Come sing a song with me, that I might know your mind. And I'll bring you hope when hope is hard to find. And I'll bring a song of love and a rose in the winter time. Come dream a dream with me. Come dream a dream with me. Come dream a dream with me, that I might know your mind. And I'll bring you hope when hope is hard to find. And I'll bring a song of love and a rose in the winter time. Come walk in rain with me. Come walk in rain with me. Come walk in rain with me, that I might know your mind. And I'll bring you hope when hope is hard to find. And I'll bring a song of love and the rose in the winter time. Come share a rose with me. Come share a rose with me. Come share a rose with me, that I might know your mind. And I'll bring you hope when hope is hard to find. And I'll bring a song of love and a rose in the winter time.
Please take the time to greet one another. Say good morning. Now, if you'll stay on your feet for just a second, let's read our covenant together, which is printed in your order of service. We come together as a religious community, upholding freedom of conscience, right relationship, and the inherent worth of all people. We value our diversity and pledge to care for one another in the spirit of compassion, to speak and listen to each other with respect, and to promote justice and kindness in the world. Miss Yasmin's got a story for us. With props.
Happy December, everybody. Our theme is hope this month with our Soul Matters curriculum, Choosing Hope. So I wanted to start off with this, I think is a really great story, because as a school teacher, if I ask children, you know, who did this and who invented that, it's always someone else, but there's always a story behind that. So some of you might remember this lovely light bulb. It's seen its days, but now the light bulbs, you know, they last a lot longer. They're LED, so we're gonna go with that. Because I did a story once that if all the energy sources in the world were represented by 100 light bulbs, it's not looking good back here, guys, so pardon this. You can see where a majority of our energy sources come from, right? We're still stuck down here, but we're not going there today. We're going to talk about the light bulb. I want to tell you about this really great guy. His name is Latimer. Have any of you heard about him? He's a UU dude. He actually founded one of the Unitarian churches in Queens, New York, Flushing, if you know where they do the, the Open, the tennis, right? That's in that neighborhood. Lovely, lovely neighborhood. If you've ever been to Queens, go to Flushing. It's gated. You feel like you're in Hollywood, but you're not. So once upon a time, there was this boy, and his name was Latimer. And he didn't grow up with everything handed to him. As a matter of fact, his parents had to escape slavery. And he often had to move when he was a little boy from home to stay safe. So he never really got to set up his room or have all his little collections. But he never went to fancy schools, but he loved to learn so much. He drew, he tinkered. He just found anything in nature and he connected to it. As a matter of fact, when he was 16, he said, I'm going to join the Navy. And then, you have to be 18 to join the Navy, but he lied about his age because why? That was one way he knew he could be helpful in achieving freedom in the Civil War. So when he came home, he found this really great job at a law office, which happened to be all about inventions. And he worked really hard. He observed and he watched and he gathered some tools of his own. He first started doing errands and then, eventually he worked his way up to draftsman. Of course, he didn't get paid as much as the white people where he worked, but did that bother him? A little bit. But he never gave up hope. So he watched carefully, and one day he helped Alexander Graham Bell. Does anyone know what Alexander Graham Bell did? Bring, bring. Yep, the telephone. And then later, he worked on the light bulb. Who knows who gets the credit for the light bulb? Edison. So you've all heard of Thomas Edison. Well, his first bulbs burned out right away. They weren't really worthy, so you'd get a bulb lit, and then it would be like, okay, now we're in the dark. So all that work. Well, it was Latimer who said, I know how to make the filaments last a lot longer. So if it wasn't for him, we wouldn't be able to flip our switch and have the light bulbs last for long periods of time so we can enjoy the light in our home. As a matter of fact, it lasted so much longer that everyone just said, oh, yeah, we're not going to give you that credit. We're just going to tell everyone it was Thomas Edison. And Lewis was like, well, that's completely not fair. But again, he didn't give up hope. As we all know, things aren't fair, and we're all probably stirring up right now. But this is what's important. Most history books don't include his name because of the color of his skin. And even though he helped change the world, many people ignored him. And they just said, okay, whatever, Lewis. But he kept on shining. He played music, he painted, he started that Unitarian church, and this is what he wrote. Like the light of the sun, it beautifies all things on which it shines, and is no less welcome in the palace than in the humblest home. So this story reminds us that hope doesn't just appear. We don't find it laying around like those beautiful seashells. It's something we make, it's something we choose, and together it's inside of us, ourselves. So he made hope by working hard, by believing in his dreams and sharing it with other people. So every time we help someone, every time we imagine a better world, every time we create something, we are making hope. So next time you flip on your switch, remember Latimer, the man who helped bring light into our world and who shows us that hope is not only found, but made. So this month, let's be the hope makers that we know we are and go out and spread some serious hope. Peace.
All right, guys. Now is the time in our service where we share with each other our joys and our concerns. If you have something you'd like to share, please come on up. I will light a candle for you, and please briefly tell us what you'd like to share. I'm going to light a candle first of joy for our holiday fair yesterday. It really was great. I am so glad it's over because it's so much work.
Hi, my name is Deb, and I have two hats right now. One is a chef hat saying thanks everybody for helping with the baking at the holiday market, and the other is green visor, myself as treasurer. I just wanted to let you know that as we were using the elevator yesterday to take all of the people's things up and down, it was very apparent that we need a new elevator, and we're going to have to spend the money to get one. Just so you know.
Thank you, Deb, for all you do.
It was also really fun with the holiday market yesterday. Shri and I made a whole bunch of sandwiches. That's like the exact kind of thing I like to do. Just making food in a little corner where no one's there to serve me, and I just do it. I worked at Subway as a teenager, so I was like, yeah, this is the exact job to sign me for. But that wasn't the only food thing that I did today, because my own apartment had like a big winter party with all the tenants inside, so it was a good time to meet all the neighbors. I made a new neighbor friend who recently moved in, and and then we spent the evening hanging out with each other, so it was a good day.
Hello. As of yesterday, I am halfway through my master's program, which feels really great.
That feels good.
Hi, I'm Bree. Again, I want to say thank you to everyone who helped at the bake sale. You guys did a wonderful job, and there's still lots of goodies left. So make sure you come, and we do have a donation little bucket. If you can, give a little something for all those baked goods that are still there. If you can't, it's okay too. But there's lots of goodies and still some sandwiches. So please partake.
Well, yeah, we're going to have a good feast today.
I just wanted to say that I'm proud of my partner, Tom there, because last year he got his PhD, and he has 3 masters before that. So I got out of high school. Yeah, that was about it. So I think that's pretty cool.
All right. Heck yeah. We call that wicked smart. I lit one more candle of concern for our church member, David Godinez, who's going to be away for the rest of this month, but he had a death in his family and had to kind of take off. So instead of traveling and then coming back and then going back for Christmas, he's going to be gone for most of this month. But he has been an absolute asset to this church. He's been helping in our office for the last several weeks, and he's just been amazing. We couldn't have pulled this thing off yesterday without him. So we give him our love, and we await his return. I hope everything goes okay with his family. And I lit 2 final candles. Oh, yes. Oh, Jessica, we couldn't have done any of this at all. Jessica was thank God for Jessica, okay? Thank God for Jessica. I don't know what we'd do around here without her. And I lit 2 final candles, as is our practice here, one for all the joys and sorrows we keep in our hearts today, and one for everyone out there who has yet to find a safe and loving place to share. Our responsive reading this morning is number 465 in your gray hymnal, 465. From Wendell Berry. I will read the regular type if you will answer with the italics. If we will have the wisdom to survive, to stand like slow-growing trees on a ruined place, if we will make our seasons welcome here, asking not too much of earth or heaven, their houses strongly placed upon the valley sides, and over it bird song like a canopy. On the steeps where greed and ignorance cut down the old forest, the veins of forgotten springs will have opened. Families will be singing in the fields. They will take nothing from the ground. They will not return, whatever the grief at parting. The abundance of this place, the songs of its people and its birds, will be health and wisdom and indwelling light. Amen, Wendell Berry. And our church did inherit a lovely collection of Wendell Berry poetry that is in my office from Larry. after he passed away. So come on down and sit down on that low couch I have in my office and take a perusal through that library. Now, let us enter into the state of prayer and meditation. This is from Reverend Michelle Collins. Spirit of life, we come carrying the burden of our own discouragements, the job that didn't work out, the relationship that ended, the dream deferred once again. Some mornings it feels easier to stay in bed and then face another day of uncertainty. Yet here we are, gathered in this place that reminds us hope is not a feeling we wait for, but a choice we make. Hold gently those among us who struggle to find reasons for hope, whose depression whispers lies about their worth, whose anxiety paints tomorrow in fearful colors. Grant us patience with our own healing and compassion for our stumbling toward wholeness. May we learn that hope is not the absence of struggle, but the decision to keep walking through it. Help us remember that even our smallest steps forward matter. That courage comes not from feeling brave, but acting despite our fear. May we find hope in unexpected places, in the kindness of strangers, in our own capacity to survive, in this community that holds us when we cannot hold ourselves. Amen, and so may it be. was thick. Oh, Sibelius. Whew. Keeps me all clamped up here. Our reading this morning is from Reverend Victoria Safford, The Gates of Hope. Our mission is to plant ourselves at the gates of hope, not the prudent gates of optimism, which are somewhat narrower, not the stalwart, boring gates of common sense, nor the strident gates of self-righteousness, which creak on shrill and angry hinges. People cannot hear us there, they cannot pass through. Nor the cheerful, flimsy garden gate of everything is gonna be all right. But a different, sometimes lonely place, the place of truth-telling about your own soul first and all its condition, the place of resistance and defiance, the piece of ground from which you see the world, both as it is and as it could be, as it will be, the place from which you glimpse not only struggle, but the joy of struggle. And we stand there, beckoning and calling, telling people what we are seeing, asking people what they see. And now, my friends, please rise in body and or spirit, and let's continue this Sibelius Love Fest with number 159, 159.
This is my song, O God of all the nations, a song of peace for lands afar and mine. This is my home, the country where my heart is. Here are my hopes, my dreams, my holy shrine. But other hearts in other lands are beating with hopes and dreams as true and high as mine. My country's skies are bluer than the ocean, and the sunlight beams on clover leaf and pine. But other lands have sunlight too, and clover, and skies are everywhere as blue as mine. Oh, hear my song, thou God of all the nations, a song of peace for their lands and for mine.
Please be seated and say amen to that hymn. Now is the time in our service where we ask you for your kind donations toward the many good works of this church, and we thank you for your generosity. I like that. Yasmin told us earlier this month, Soul Matters theme is choosing hope at this time of year, especially the kind of hope that we tend to lean into is that calming hope, that one that reassures us that the light will return and spring will come again. And that's a needed message for sure. But we have the rest of the month to talk about that, so we're going to go in a different direction. Today, let's talk about when hope is hard to find, like that rose in the wintertime. Because hope has many faces and functions and foundations. German theologian Jürgen Moltmann, a thoroughly fascinating man who was a founding father of liberation theology in Protestantism. He wrote a book called The Theology of Hope. He said this: faith, wherever it develops into hope, causes not rest but unrest, not patience but impatience. It does not calm the unquiet heart, but is itself this unquiet heart in all of us. those who hope can no longer put up with reality as it is, but begin to suffer under it and contradict it. It means conflict with the world, for the goad of the promised future stabs inexorably into the flesh of every unfulfilled present, unquote. I think a lot of us can relate to the goad of our promised future of justice and justice for all and celebrating diversity to the actual human flesh that is being persecuted in our markedly unfulfilled present. The Soul Matters Resources this month follows up on Moltmann's quote saying, Moltmann and others remind us that calm reassurance is only half of what hope is trying to say. Hope doesn't just whisper, it will be different. It shouts, it should be different, and it can be different. Yes, it speaks soothing words about trusting and waiting, but also takes the form of a holy impatience that declares, enough is enough and the time is now. Yes, sir. That is the kind of tenacious rose in the wintertime hope that we need. That initially measly hope that rises out of the ashes of despair. These are difficult, emotionally exhausting times we are living in, folks. And it's hard when your holy impatience screams, enough is enough, and you do all you can do, but it feels like you're shouting into a void or a vacuum. And that, church, is when the devil creeps in. I'm talking about the devil's cynicism. Cynicism is the opposite of hope. It tries to tell you how easy it would be to just give up. It tries to convince you that nothing you do matters. Poppycock, cod swallop, and other old-timey ways to say bull crap. Hope is that little ember you blow on when you're cold and broken and on the ground, and all you can do is barely breathe, and you keep breathing. Hope is about survival, my friends. Now, I'm a Gen Xer, and we are likely the most sarcastically cynical generation there is. The music we loved, that grungy 80s and 90s punk and heavy metal, and it let us scream our rage freely, and we loved it. It was kind of awesome. I am fairly certain we should maybe bring back mosh pits like once a week. We also had those deeply emo songs that, helped us feel seen in our weirdness. Dudes, I got to see The Cure, New Order, The Clash, Dead Kennedys, Public Image Limited, Black Flag, 9 Inch Nails with David Bowie. It was awesome. If you've never seen Johnny Cash's cover of Hurt by 9 Inch Nails, you've never seen what I consider the greatest cover song ever performed. It's the most emotionally raw song you would ever want to hear, and hearing Johnny Cash sing Trent Reznor's words from a totally different perspective in the last months of his life, what have I become, my sweetest friend? Everyone I know goes away in the end. And you can have it all, my empire of dirt. I will let you down. I will make you hurt. And seeing the pain in his face, in his wife June's face, who would die shortly after this video was filmed, it is incredibly poignant and filled with scenes of him as a young man, and you can feel the symbolism so, so deeply. And in that last verse, the very last line, he brings all the hurt back to hope. When he sings, "If I could start again 1,000,000 miles away, I would keep myself, I would find a way." And he closes the piano lid as if finishing the last song of his life. And indeed, it was one of the last songs of his life. Guys, it's extraordinary, and it makes me cry every time. And that's where hard hope lies, where you think you're at the end and you start again instead. Hope is the spark that lights the flame in the dark. And I think the strongest hope there is comes from our resilience that is birthed in brokenness. One of my musical and lyrical heroes is Nick Cave, who has written some of the saddest, sweetest, most wonderful songs. And I follow his blog, The Red Hand Files. On his blog, he answers lots of questions from fans. And back in 2022, one of his fans named Valerio sent him this question. "Following the last years, I'm feeling empty and more cynical than ever. I'm losing faith in other people, and I'm scared to pass these feelings on to my little son. Do you still believe in us human beings?" Nick Cave, who tragically lost his son 10 years before he received this letter, answered him like this, and I'm going to read the whole thing because it's really pertinent to where I'm going to. "Dear Valerio, you are right to be worried about your growing feelings of cynicism, and you need to take action to protect yourself and those around you, especially your child. Cynicism is not a neutral position, and although it asks almost nothing of us, it is highly infectious and unbelievably destructive. In my view, it is the most common and easy of evils. I know this because much of my early life was spent holding the world and the people in it in contempt. It was a position both seductive and indulgent. The truth is, I was young and had no idea what was coming down the line. I lacked the knowledge, the foresight, the self-awareness. I just didn't know. It took a devastation to teach me the preciousness of life and the essential goodness of people. It took a devastation to reveal the preciousness of the world, the precariousness of its very soul, to understand that it was crying out for help. It took a devastation to understand the idea of mortal value. It took a devastation to find hope. Unlike cynicism, hopefulness is hard-earned, makes demands upon us, and can often feel like the most indefensible and lonely place on earth. Hopefulness is not a neutral position either. It is adversarial. It is the warrior emotion that can lay waste to cynicism. Each redemptive or loving act, as small as you like, Valerio, such as reading to your little boy or showing him a thing you love, or singing him a song, or putting on his shoes, keeps the devil down in the hole. It says the world and its inhabitants have value and are worth defending. It says that the world is worth believing in. In time, we come to find that is so. Love, Nick. I couldn't have possibly said that better. So much of my own irrepressible hope comes from having got through the worst things and knowing how many other people out there need people to pull them through too. The hope that is born from despair might just be the second most powerful force in the universe, following close on the heels of love, my friends. Joanna Macy, who is an amazing woman, environmental activist, scholar of Buddhism, and author of many intense books, who I highly recommend, she said this: "By honoring our despair and not trying to suppress it or pave over it as some personal pathology, we open a gateway into our full vitality and to our connection with all life. Beneath what I call our pain for the world, which includes sorrow and outrage and dread, is this instinct for the preservation of life. When we are unafraid of the suffering of our world and brave enough to sustain the gaze and speak out, there is a redemptive sanity at work. The other side of that pain for our world is a love for our world. That love is bigger than you would ever guess from what our consumer society conditions us to want. It's a love so raw, so ancient, so deep, that if you get in touch with it, you can just ride it. You can just be there, and it doesn't matter. Then nothing can stop you. But to get to that, you have to stop being afraid of hurting. The price of reaching that is tears and outrage, because the tears and the power to keep going come from the same source." Unquote. Her bottom line, and my bottom line today, is that having hope is how we actively honor our pain. We have earned this hope, church, okay? We've earned it. In every little thing we do when it feels just too hard even to get out of bed in the morning, every time we pick ourselves up and do what we must so our kids or our parents or our friends are okay, every time we choose to model patience and listen when we want to scream and throw hands, every time we lead with love for ourselves and others, we have won the ability, we have earned the right to choose hope. You have blown on that little ember and made it a blaze. You have earned it, so don't let anyone take it away from you. Don't give it away. Hope isn't hard to find. When you've had enough of just about everything, you will find it there, burning. Soul Matters Resources says, hope doesn't just promise us that change will come in the future, it also changes who we are in the present. When we believe that a new day is possible, we don't just sit down and see what happens. We get up and go out to meet the light. When hope convinces us that there are unseen forces working for good, we begin to look around more closely. And in doing so, we notice that the darkness and pain is not all there is. When hope's holy impatience gets into our bones, we start acting as if we are worthy of that new day. which in turn changes others by convincing them that we have all waited long enough. We feel this more than ever now. So many of us are just done with the waiting and the placating, and we are saying, enough. Scary as things may be, my friends, what we are seeing from communities all across this country and across this world, people supporting and protecting each other, is that active, passionate hope that changes us in the present and will change the future. This hope doesn't just have feathers, like Emily Dickinson says. Church, it has the fire of the phoenix. Its feathers are on fire. So we continue to rise like the phoenix, my friends. Rise with hope in your heart. Let us continue to rise every day the best we can, my friends. Amen. So may it be. And now, there it is. Join me in our final hymn, Stand as You Are Willing and Able, number 139. Wonders still the world shall witness.
Wonders still the world shall witness, never known in days of old, never dreamed by ancient sages, howsoever free and bold. Sons and daughters shall inherit wondrous thoughts to us unknown, when the dawn of peace its splendor over all the world has thrown. They shall rule with winged freedom, worlds of health and human good, worlds of commerce, worlds of science, all made one and understood. They shall know a world transfigured, which our eyes but dimly see. They shall make its towns and woodlands beautiful from sea to sea. For a spirit then shall move them, we but vaguely apprehend. Aims magnificent and holy, making joy and labor friend. Then shall bloom in the song and fragrance, harmony of thought and deed, fruits of peace and love and justice, where today we plant the seed.
Our closing words are from Reverend Tandy Rogers. May you choose hope even when it trembles. May it be the kind of hope that plants seeds, waits in the dark, and trusts the stirring. Hope that doesn't deny despair, but dares to outlast it. Dare to outlast it, my friends. Hold fast. We love you. Stay strong. Go in peace. Live long and prosper. Now, come on, let's eat some of that food we got left over together.